Okay, so this topic has been debated for years now, and today I'm just going to do my own video and put my own opinion on it. So for clarity, it's going to be Ultimate Gohan that fought Super Buu in the latter part of the Buu Saga versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku that fought Kid Buu at the end of the Buu Saga. But real quick, before we get started, if y'all haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel, and if you like today's content, be sure to leave a like and comment below what you think. I can't tell y'all how much I appreciate and love the support y'all keep giving, especially as I continue to branch out to new topics of discussion and media. Y'all are the best subscribers. Do not ever forget that. With all that said, let's get into it. So at first glance, there's plenty of people who will write this off as being obvious. And to be fair, at first glance, yeah, I can see that. More specifically, most people will tend to immediately go straight to saying Gohan is far stronger than Goku and that he would stop him. But I personally think there's more to this matchup than most people give it credit for. So the first thing to cover is each fighter's relativity to Majin Buu, or more specifically, the multiple forms of Majin Buu. Let's start chronologically with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So Goku first pulls out Super Saiyan 3 against the fat Majin Buu when he has to buy time for Trunks to get the Dragon Radar. When he finally transforms, he states that he hasn't had much chances or reasons to use it, which I do think is something that most people tend to forget. That the first time we canonically see Goku use Super Saiyan 3, he's not as familiar with the form as we might believe, which in itself says a lot, being that he did pretty well against Buu despite not being used to the form. It's also worth noting that Goku was dead, which may or may not have something to do with his unfamiliarity with Super Saiyan 3 Goku, as well as the much more energy consumption that the form has to it compared to Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2. Next, we go on to Gohan. After Elder Kai unlocks his hidden potential, he becomes way more powerful than he's ever been. And once he gets back to Earth, he starts to manhandle Super Buu. Super Buu, who was giving Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks a good solid run for his money, and in Piccolo's words, was using Gotenks as a warm-up for Gohan. Now, when it comes to both of these characters and where they cap out at, it's a bit tricky to discuss. Gohan is a bit easier than Goku. So, as it's stated and shown, Gohan is obviously stronger than Super Buu, but he starts to get overwhelmed once Super Buu absorbs Gotenks and Piccolo and becomes Buu-Tanks. Which of course means he's also weaker than Buuhan too. I mean, you know, if it was a hypothetical verse battle. But we do have an implication that Gohan is at least able to beat Super Buu with Goten and Trunks not being fused inside Buu. Once the fusion wears off for Gotenks, Buu reverts to the Piccolo outfit, implying that Piccolo is the dominant one among the ones absorbed. Goku then says that he and Gohan won't even need to fuse anymore with Buu the way he is. In the manga, Goku says Gohan can handle him. In the anime, it's worth noting that Goku actually says, "You don't expect to beat me like that, do you?" Me as in Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now, Goku is a bit tougher to scale when it comes to Super Saiyan 3 because there's a few contradictions here and there. So first, after Goku's fight with the Fat Buu, Piccolo straight up asked him if he was able to beat Fat Buu as a Super Saiyan 3. Goku then says, "I'm not really sure," and that it was possible, to which even Piccolo was surprised at. The reason being is because Piccolo knows Goku as someone who always knows what he's capable of. Goku then says that Buu wasn't his enemy to beat and that he wants to leave it to the younger generation to fight and defeat. In other words, Trunks, Goten, and Gohan. So I think the implication here is that Goku thinks that it was at least possible, but that he deliberately didn't finish the fight. The next couple statements come later and very close to each other. The first one is before Goku actually starts to fight Kid Buu. Goku states that the fact is he probably could have beaten the Fat Buu back on Earth. The Japanese dub says the same thing, and what I find interesting is that while this line sounds pretty similar to what he said to Piccolo, the delivery of the line is what makes it a bit different to me. Like when Goku says it here, he seems much more confident that he would have beaten Fat Buu when they fought. Like seriously, like the way he's speaking, it's almost as if he's reflecting on the mistake of not killing the Fat Buu when he had the chance, ergo probably being able to avoid the whole war with Majin Buu in the first place. The second statement comes after, in a few panels later, after Goku's already fought Kid Buu and Vegeta goes to give Goku some words of encouragement. Vegeta tells Goku that he's confident that at full power, Goku should be able to generate more than enough power to destroy Buu. To which Goku not only agrees, but also says he could have done it at the start when he was fresh, but he let the fight drag on so Vegeta could have a turn to fight Buu. Side note, the Japanese sub, Goku says the same thing but adds a little bit more. He says, "I've been thinking of doing so for a while now, but I haven't had the time. Here I'm wanting to obliterate him, but now I have to wait a whole minute to gather my ki. Maybe I've been trying too much to act cool. I thought it would go better than this." He also notes that it's only Buu's regeneration that is making the fight difficult. meaning or implying that Buu's overall power and strength aren't what's giving Goku the most trouble. Now again, it's difficult to gauge how strong Super Saiyan 3 Goku is because there's a few contradictions. Because after Goku and Vegeta free Gohan, Piccolo, Trunks, and Goten from the pods inside Buu, Goku notes to Vegeta that even with his strength gone down sharply, if they were to go out there right now and fight him, Buu would kill them. In the manga, he says Buu is still way out of our league and that they'd be good as dead. But during the beginning parts of this fight with Kid Buu when Goku was Super Saiyan 2, in the anime, both English dub and Japanese dub, they say something that contradicts Goku's earlier statement. And before going into that, I think it's worth noting that in the anime at least, Goku did pretty well during his warm-up part of the fight against Kid Buu while Super Saiyan 2, let alone Super Saiyan 3. But anyway, in the English dub, Goku says, "Darn you, Buu, you're twice as strong as you were before, your speed, your power." And the Japanese sub, Goku says, "Your speed, your power, and recovery are all incredible. You're on a completely different level from all the Buus up till now." Which isn't really contradictory to the manga because Kibito Kai tells Elder Kai the origins of Buu. Elder Kai says that this Buu is the most dangerous, and this is after they've seen Bootinks and Buuhan. Now, dangerous can be a bit of a vague word, especially in this context. The way the manga depicts Kibito Kai saying it, Kid Buu is the most dangerous because he lacks any kind of influence from the Kais, and so he's nothing but a mindless killing machine. But in the anime, when Goku and Vegeta refuse the Elder Kai's suggestion of using the Batara earrings again to fight Buu, Kibito Kai says, "But how do you expect to beat Buu in his present state? He's more powerful than ever." So even if you don't subscribe to the idea of the Kais referring to any of the fused versions of Buu, it's definitely easy to interpret them as referring to any of the normal versions of Buu, i.e. Fat Buu, Evil Buu, Super Buu, and of course Kid Buu. And plus, I think there's something that's kind of interesting, and it could be up to the individual viewers, but in the anime, after Gohan somehow fails to catch the Batara earring, Bootinks immediately goes in for the attack against Goku. Goku then goes into Super Saiyan 3 and actually does it on the spot and proceeds to fight Bootinks and does pretty decent considering the supposed power difference. For what it seems in the brief little time that they fought, Super Saiyan 3 Goku actually seemed to fight relative to Gohan against Bootinks. Like, Goku wasn't doing that much better or worse than Ultimate Gohan. Now, to be fair, Gohan had been fighting normal Super Buu for a little bit before this, but still. All this is to say is that if you want to believe Goku is at the very least on par with Ultimate Gohan, then it wouldn't necessarily be a crazy take. Conversely, if you wanted to believe that Gohan is still stronger than Goku but not by much, again, that's not a really crazy take. Now onto the fight itself. I'm actually kind of split, I'm not gonna lie. I know that's kind of a cop-out, but I'm still willing to believe that Gohan might edge Goku out in terms of overall power and strength. But if we take Goku at its highest assertions, then it's possible to put him slightly above Gohan. But if we are going to say that they're like dead even, then the fight is going to come down to one of two things: battle experience and or time. Battle experience would definitely go to Goku. Like, not saying Gohan is a slouch when it comes to this by any means, but Goku is just a natural fighting genius, and personally, I feel like he has better fighting instincts than Gohan. But time might be the biggest factor because Goku can't maintain Super Saiyan 3 for too long, and unless he goes all in from the jump and uses like a super powerful Kamehameha wave, powerful enough to kill Gohan right from the start, then the fight is going to drag on, which I think will be a lot more likely. Like, in character, even in Super Saiyan 3, Goku doesn't go all out from the start. I mean, if he didn't do that against Kid Buu, he's definitely not going to do it against Gohan here. And as strong as Gohan is here, I can't see him being taken out that quickly, which means the fight will be dragged out a bit at the very least. And while that's happening, Super Saiyan 3 is going to drain Goku's energy rather quickly. Not saying he can't maintain it for like long enough to possibly take the win. As we see, he at least is able to hold the form for a while against both Fat Buu and Kid Buu. But even still, the point is that Gohan does have time on his side. So if he was able to last long enough, he will be able to take the win. Personally, I think this fight could go either way, but overall, I still give it to Gohan high difficulty. Like, if we were to operate on the assumption that they're both pretty much even with each other in terms of overall power and strength, then Gohan will have the advantage of duration. But it is totally possible with Goku's battle experience and battle instincts, he'd be able to get the win over Gohan before Super Saiyan 3 drains all of his energy. And again, even if you don't believe that they're even, and if you believe one is higher than the other in terms of power, then it's not a crazy take. But in my opinion, one isn't necessarily too far above the other to where it wouldn't make for a close fight. I said, I think that Gohan would win high difficulty more often than not, but I do think that there is a possibility that if Goku plays it smart, that he does have the capability of taking Gohan out. But there y'all have it. There's the rest of the video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all did enjoy it. Please let me know in the comments what you think. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, in the comments, list some more Dragon Ball Z video ideas because, I got way more coming in the future. But thank you all for watching. Till my next one, like Snow, out.